Right.
Yes.
It's no secret that consumables go bad, and wine in this case is not an exception. Wine also goes bad, but of course there's a reason as to why, and so join us in this discussion.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that if you come across a corked wine, you can detect it so that you don't end up spending your money and drinking bad wine. Hello there, wine lovers.
Hi everyone.
If you're new here, welcome back to the Wine Safari. My name is wairimu.
And I'm Claire.
So we hope you've had a wonderful week, a productive, awesome week, and that we're glad you can join us on this video because we're always talking about interesting wine content.
Yeah. So today we have an interesting topic to talk about, and we feel it's something that people really don't know much about it, or it's a term that people are misusing it.
Right.
And we're going to address it in this topic. And today we're talking about corked wine.
Yeah. So that by the end of this video you understand what corked wine is, how to detect it, how to handle that situation. Yeah. So yeah.
And
we hope you're saving lives.
Confuse
Right.
corked wine with other culprits of, other culprits that affect wine.
Yeah, because corked wine is a whole different dynamic of wine problems.
Yeah.
But we also have other wine problems that occur.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we are going to tackle it in question form. We have at least 5 questions that are going to help us to cover everything and make sure that we're not leaving anything out.
Yeah.
So the first question.
How do you know if your wine is corked? Yeah. Some is noticeable.
Yeah, and some
not so much.
Yeah. You will not. It will be just maybe less fruity and floral. Yeah. And less flavorful. Right. So you will not even notice that. Many of the people will not notice that a wine.
They wouldn't. Yeah. But if you know and you know what it smells like, what a cocktail essentially smells like, then you can definitely tell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And usually it's not a desirable, wine to drink. Yeah.
Again, it's not, and it's not also not harmful to your.
Yeah, it's not, but it's
but
not
again,
fun
you
to
not
drink.
Experience the best experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So usually it's a distinct smell, like like a wet dog. If you have ever been anything close to a wet dog, you know how that smells.
Or wet
newspapers, wet clothes,
wet
cardboard.
So it's that moldy, dumpy
smell and taste as well. Yeah, so not desirable at all. How do you tell?
First thing that people think that a wine, they use this term when they see some pieces of corks floating on the wine, and they think that wine is corked. No, that is not true. Right. That wine is okay. It's just those particles of the sediments. You just have to filter or decant it.
Or decant your wine. Yeah. So if your wine has cork particles, that is not corkiness.
Yeah, that's not corkiness.
Yeah, and if your wine has sediment, that means it's probably an old wine, and especially red old wines. They tend to throw sediment as they get older. So just decant your wine and that should be fine. If you find tartrate crystals in white wines, most common in white wines. Yeah,
they're usually white crystals on the cork somewhere. When you open, you find them.
Yeah, right. Or even at the bottom of the glass. When you're drinking, you notice they look like diamonds. Some would call them wine diamonds. Yeah, that is just a naturally occurring process in wine, and especially wine that is not filtered. Some winemakers and wine drinkers find that attractive, others not so much. So it should not worry you if you come across crystals in your wine.
Yeah, it's totally harmless.
Yeah, just decant and you should be fine to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So those are acceptable wine problems.
Those are acceptable.
Yeah.
Now other
questionable ones that are not corked wine.
And maybe what you confuse
with corked wine
is oxidized wine.
Right.
This is wine that has been exposed to excess oxygen. So it turns the color of the wine, also the taste, and most of the time you'll find that a wine that is oxidized, it will be vinegary, or it will be lifeless,
flat.
Yeah. Okay, another one is maderization. This is overheating of wine, and this happens maybe due to poor storage or due to transportation. So the wine overheats, and how it tastes is similar to wine that has been exposed to sunlight.
Right.
I mean fruits that have been exposed to sunlight. So have you ever tasted something, fruits that have been cooked? That's how exactly how Madeirized wine tastes like. Yeah. Or re-fermentation. Re-fermentation also occur. Maybe the winemaker used excess yeast. So when they bottled the wine, there's some yeast that
is left in the wine.
Yeah. So the wine goes through a second fermentation that is not necessary, and that makes a wine fizzy.
Right. And when it may be nice, right? But some may find that fizziness nice.
Yeah.
Others may not understand, especially if they expect it to be a still wine.
Yeah. But you know, now again, that fizziness in a wine that is not
like a sparkling wine, it doesn't make
really
sense.
Yeah.
Another thing that may occur due to yeast remaining in the wine is cloudiness. Like the look of the wine in your glass, it's not clear. It doesn't look clear. So that means that bacteria, yeast or bacteria is left in the wine. Another fault that can be questionable is bottle stink. This is when a wine has been in a bottle for so long. When you open it, the bottle has this smell that is definitely noticeable. Like when you open a cabinet that has been, or a wardrobe that has been closed for years, that smell that comes off, you can find that with old wines. And the remedy to that is just to let your wine breathe. You can decant it so that the flavors come up, and the wine gets to interact with the air because it has been closed off for so long. So those are some of the questionable faults that you may come across wine, but are understandable because of the situation in which your wine has been handled.
Exactly. So the second question is, the third one is, what is corked wine?
So we've covered faultiness that is not corked wine. Now we're going to cover what is essentially corked wine, because that is a term on its own and a whole wine problem on its own.
So corked wine is wine that has been affected with cork taint, and due to this result, the wine has a distinct smell and taste.
And it's most common with wines that are sealed with corks.
But corked wine are also rare, so you'll only find about 5% of wines that
are sealed with corks in the whole
affected
wine production in the world.
So natural corks. See this natural cork,
not synthetic.
The ones we call plastic or cap screw like this one, they will never be affected by cork taint. So that is what is corked wine.
So wine that is tainted by cork.
Now what is cork taint?
How does that come across?
So as you have said, cork taint affects natural corks. And because this is a natural substance, there are microorganisms that eats this. This is a tree. So it's either eats it when it's a tree or during the process of making the corks.
And when it's a tree, that is like mostly contributed by situations such as when pesticides are used or herbicides.
So when they eat on this cork, they form a compound known as the TCA.
Trichloroniazole. It's a long one. We'll write it somewhere here.
So that one is what affects the wine. So the second it comes into contact with the wine, then it brings that cork taint into the wine.
So wine that is fresh, it smells clean, it tastes clean, it is lively in smell and taste. So cork taint definitely ruins that experience. So we have covered what cork taint is, how it occurs. So what is the solution? How do you handle a situation where you find yourself with a corked wine? And especially in restaurants, if you understand what this is about, usually you will have a feeling like you're doubting, there's something that is off.
That's why it's essential to taste wine before you buy like a full bottle. So you have to taste it. And if they refuse to exchange it for you, you can look for another one. Like choose another bottle
or choose another restaurant.
Yeah.
So they should, you can call the waiter up if you're doubting that your wine is off. You can tell them to double check, and if it is, they should be in a position to replace your wine. If you bought your wine from a retailer, hopefully it's not too far, you can take the bottle back. They should be in a position to replace that wine for you.
Or just do a refund.
They should really be able to refund, because it's not a pleasurable experience to drink corked wine. If it is any of the other faultiness that we have covered, bottle stink, just let your wine breathe. Oxidation,
either you just buy it when it was not well sealed. You need to check your bottle that it is well sealed, and when you go home, store it properly. So that it doesn't go through oxidation.
And if you can't take it down on its own, just cook with it. It will not harm you, but it's just not fun to drink wine that that is off or flat. So guys, we hope you have learned something about wine falls and corked wine. Now you know the difference. If someone says a wine is corked, that does not mean it has been sealed by a cork. It means that it has corking. Just tainted. So we hope you enjoyed watching this video and
had some takeaways, and that you have learned about. And if you're new to wine, now this is something you need to go.
This is something you need to know.
Because if you're new to wine and you taste a corked wine, then it will ruin your experience, that you'll never want to taste wine again. You think
wine tastes like that.
Yes.
So it's good to know what is fresh and what is not.
So some of these problems are really inevitable. Avoid them.
You can
it's better to know.
When you know better, you detect early on before you drink a whole bottle, and then you're like, "Hi, something was off."
Or you try something different and you're like, "Hi, my other wine was not tasting this, so this one is better. What happened to that?" So it's good to know these things. So we hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, hit on the comment section if you have come across a wine that was off. What was your experience? Did you have the wine changed or not? We have come across wines that are off. I guess we have drunk a lot actually. No, we are still here. We are still alive.
It's not a bad thing, but it's not fun at all. So until next time, guys, always remember
to take care of your wine.
Bye.
Adios.